I have been gone working quite a bit lately. Sometimes you got to do your day job. For those of you who haven't been here before, I do like a slew of things, and for the 7 of you that care, by the way, thank you. I have been doing production sound, which is where I go and I record stuff on set. I think I talked about that a little bit in my first video, but that's what I've been up to. I was working on Nerf or Nothing, and then I was working on a feature. I filmed a walkthrough, a 3-part walkthrough, and this is part 2. This is our where we talk about all the guitars and basses here, and it's actually really interesting because we don't have a normal guitar here, I don't think. I think the most normal guitar here is a Gibson acoustic. I'm doing my best to listen to what you like and kind of like find a healthy medium in there, and these are kind of easy. You guys seem to like the studio tours. I'm down with it. I'm cool with that. I haven't filmed a lot because it feels strange, like holding a camera out in front of you and just being like, so what's up, guys? And you're talking to like nobody. That I haven't shaken that. I haven't quite gotten to Christian Henson walking through an airport and riding on trains talking to a camera, but he's so eloquent, you know. Him talking more is no problem for me. I'm not that. I haven't become that. Who knows? Maybe I'll never become that. All I'm trying to say is I've been a little busy. And this should be a fun episode because we get to talk about music gear. And stay tuned because we have a 4th episode on the way, which is probably really like one of the more gear-centric ones where we go through literally every piece of gear in the rack in a room here at Cardinal Song. For those of you who don't know, I am in Studio B, which is where we are right now, owned by Michael Trepanier. He is a incredibly gifted engineer and just all-around great person and smart guy. And in the A room, it seemed like a lot of people didn't like that we skirted over the gear and had a really great conversation. Not a big deal. I'm here to give you what you want. So, I hope you enjoy this episode. This is episode 3. Myself, Michael Trepanier at Cardinal Song in Oklahoma. We're talking about some guitars and some basses. So, without further ado, let's get into some gear talk, shall we? All right. Ta-ta. Okay, one of my other favorite things about your studio is that, and I don't know how we missed this on the first tour.
You walked right past it.
Walked right past it. You said nothing about the mics or this. He just wanted to talk about way cooler stuff than gear. But I get it. We're here now. We're at the gear portion of things. You built this.
I designed it. I had it built.
You designed it and had it built. Okay,
yes.
Cool. I thought
when the framing guys were framing, I just drew something and told them to build it.
And they did it.
They did it.
And what happened was this.
Doesn't look that impressive to camera because it's just the thing,
great.
But
these live inside.
Ye old guitars.
These guitars. Okay, so not like the most awesome guitar to start with. That one though is very cool.
Very cool.
What do we have here?
This is a late 60s Mustang. Fender Mustang. It's awesome.
Was that, so you said that your first real guitar was a Mustang. Is that what you're holding right now?
Yes.
So you're witnessing
history.
Actually.
I traded up on this one. I had bought an Epiphone Les Paul and some hardcore band I was recording with in college. Brought this, and I was kind of like, maybe not the right sound. And so I handed him the Epiphone Les Paul. He loved it. He left this at my house. And when he came back, I just said, why don't we swap? And he said, okay. So I won.
Yeah, big time. Big time.
Yeah, because I fell in love with this just pretty much instantly. It's wonderful.
That is so cool. I've yet to play that actually.
It's really cool. I have it on flat wounds, so it's like a whole different,
softer.
Yeah, a whole different vibe.
So
it's pretty plinky otherwise.
Really quickly,
yeah.
Like the difference between like why go soft wound?
A flat wound?
Yeah, sorry, flat wound.
It's just a completely different sound. Rounds are brighter and noisier, kind of with your left hand movements, but the rounds are just kind of more mellow.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's really great.
Yeah. So for those watching, for guitar enthusiasts who don't know, I'm sure you do, but again, there's probably somebody out there that doesn't. Flat wound strings tend to have like darker, less resonance. Wouldn't you say? Is that?
I don't think they're less resonant. No.
I feel like they are, but maybe
if they're muted.
Definitely less presence.
Yes.
Less presence.
Yes.
It's gonna make everything warmer. That goes for bass too. So,
That's got rounds on it.
This is actually a sleeper guitar, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I've done a lot to that guitar.
Well, not this one in particular, but like
The Sheridan in
yeah,
general.
The Dot I think is cool too.
The Dot's cool, yeah.
But so this is an Epiphone Sheridan, and you've probably done some upgrades, as you were.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time on getting this one kind of right, and then I swapped the pickups in it recently, or Mark Quinzer over at Lunar Music, kind of helped recommend some nice pickups for it, and he swapped them out for me. But
What'd you get?
Those are McNelly's. They I don't remember the exact model off the top of my head, but that is an overwound PAF. It's pretty cool. So PAF is the Gibson humbucker, standing for patent applied for. So it's their version of that. And
Oh, wow.
It's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you took a somewhat inexpensive guitar and made it sound a little more.
Yeah, I think it's $600-ish guitar, and it plays as well, to me at least, as the 335 equivalent.
Wow.
For the most part. I mean, there are things that are just, there's build quality differences, but for the most part, I think it sounds as good as any 335 I've put it up against. And it's just really comfortable to play.
Yeah.
It gets a lot of use around here, actually.
It's funny, I was going to say, I haven't seen anyone use it yet.
Oh, it gets a lot of use.
This is our only hollow body, or semi-hollow body. So,
Yes. Yes.
On the Suns record, I played a lot of semi-hollow on the neck. Oof, I love it.
It's
Sounds so good. I can't wait to bust this thing out.
Yeah.
Kind of surprised I haven't yet, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But here we got some other vibe
And then
pieces.
just, if anyone's, I'm resting them on these little weird homemade blocks. So there's a cork on the inside, and I basically just took a 2-inch hole saw and just cut into this 2x4 and then split it in half, and then lined the interior with cork, and then the neck rests on here. You'll see it, I'm sure. And a lot of these I've either built or highly modified, but
I've been playing this one quite a bit lately.
yeah. So this is a kind of crazy mashup of things. It's the Telemaster sort of vibe.
Wait, no, I have not played this. Yeah, I've been playing the other
This is technically semi-hollow, but you wouldn't know. So it's a chambered mahogany body.
If I may.
Yeah, go ahead. Chambered mahogany all the way through. And it's really cool. It's got a Joe Strummer Telecaster neck on it.
Dude, that neck feels great.
It feels great. It's really, really cool.
And it's got this kind of worn down.
Relict
Yeah.
vibe. So
It actually feels really good.
it's really comfortable to play.
It's made in Mexico neck.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the Joe Strummer models were made in Mexico. And those are actually really, really, really cool.
Yeah, this is a really, really cool piece.
Yeah. And that one's just built out of parts.
Does it sound like a Tele?
No.
No.
No, it's got the mini humbucker on the neck, and then it's got a hot rail kind of guy down here. Those are both Lawler pickups.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's very, very cool. It has me wanting to play more and more guitar right now.
Okay. You want to get that one?
Yeah. So,
Baritone?
yeah, this is the baritone of the group.
Yeah.
And this thing is heavy. Heavier than you would think. What makes a baritone guitar?
The scale length and the strings. So it's a longer neck and thicker gauge strings because of the length of the neck. So yeah, and that's another crazy parts build. I built just a straight up Telecaster for a long time. That's what this was. And then I decided to go with the conversion, the Warmoth conversion neck here. So it bolts onto any standard Telecaster.
I wanted to build a Warmoth guitar a long time ago.
Yeah.
Never got around to it.
They make some cool stuff.
Dude, this is rad.
Yeah, it's really cool. So again, Lawler pickups on that one. And then the body was cut by MJ Telecasters. Yeah, he was a custom shop out of somewhere in Missouri. Can't remember exactly. I think he either bought or was absorbed by another luthier supply company. Don't quote me on that specifically, but he makes incredible stuff and does a really cool relic job. And so, yeah.
What are we in, C?
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, and all that information is awesome. But for those who don't know, a baritone guitar is simply a guitar with a longer neck, larger scale, right?
Longer scale neck, yeah.
And that allows you to go lower. So if you want like real low notes, baritone guitar, baby.
Yeah, think like Manchester Orchestra or something like that.
I think of
They're not playing baritones, but they're tuned at the same way.
I think of Thrice. I definitely think of Thrice. Think about Thrice.
We got some basses now. So 78 Les Paul. Not Les Paul, Jesus. P bass. Wow, my brain just totally turned off.
I knew that it wasn't going to be me that did it.
78P. Sorry. See, P for Paul. No, P for P bass. This is awesome. This was I traded up on this one as well. So this was John McCall's, our friend. I had a blue P bass that was awesome. It was like this 80s blue P bass, and I'd had it for a really long time. It was baby blue, and it was super wild, but it had a really, really wide nut down here, so it was not comfortable for me to play. And as much as I liked it, I loved the way it sounded, I never really enjoyed playing it. And so he was looking for a bass that had a wider nut that played more like his Stingrays that he likes. And he already had a couple extra.
He likes Stingrays? I've never even seen a Stingray.
He doesn't play them that often at shows, but he uses them a lot for studio just because they're so versatile.
Very.
And so, yeah, so we ended up just doing a straight trade, and he's loving that, and I'm loving this. So
perfect.
It works out great.
That's a big win for everybody.
Yeah, so 78P, it's awesome.
78P bass.
Not Les Paul, just to be clear.
Les Paul McCartney.
Yep. This is a jazz bass that I made out of parts. It weighs nothing.
I think this thing's fantastic.
Yeah.
No, you don't love.
I don't like jazz basses as a rule, but that I just don't like the way they sound. They're great instruments. It's just not something I'm usually gravitating towards.
It's a personal preference.
Yeah. I lean definitely more on the P bass side, and I play a lot of short scale bass. So the Mustangs and things like that.
I didn't know that I loved short scale basses until my friend Dan brought his Justin Meldal Johnson over, and I was like, "Holy crap!"
Yeah, that's great.
So this is the bass I've wanted my whole life that I didn't. You didn't that know. And a Gibson Grabber. So.
Yep.
Which I know you.
They're awesome.
Is there more to this?
No, that's it. I mean, the body was a company called Guitar Fetish. Terrible name. But they just do like Chinese and Japanese bodies, like they're mass manufacturing them.
This guy's long.
And so the body was really, really inexpensive, and then I just got a fancy pants neck and fancy pants pickups,
great.
and then wired it myself.
It plays really great. Let's do this one first.
Sure.
Unless you want to do that one first.
This is my very, very, very first instrument.
I was going to save it for last. But
so this is I owned one bass before this, but it was just like that starter thing. Everyone's got a starter bass.
BC Rich Warlock type?
No, it was a Fernandez P bass clone. So yeah, this is a Les Paul bass. Triumph Les Paul bass from 73, I think, to 73 or 76, for some reason I can't remember.
So is this kind of the beginning of everything?
Yeah, this is the beginning of everything.
Yeah.
This right here. And this will absolutely throw your back out, which it has done for me more than once. Double check that.
This is... I briefly, when I was trying out for As Lay Dying, played an Epiphone, Thunderbird.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah, well, I love those. But
this is heavier than even that.
Yeah, this is so heavy. This is probably 14 pounds. It will wear you out, but it sounds awesome. It's really cool. So I'm grateful to this instrument for a lot of things.
Do you bust it out much?
No, not that often. But notice it's also short. It's kind of short scale, the way the body's inset, or the neck is inset to the body. So that's kind of where I think I got my love for short scale. It's by starting off on something that has that shorter feeling. And then this is D.
That's the way to
she doesn't get played that often, but it's really cool. It's an Eastwood Epiphone Newport clone.
It's really cute.
It's really cute. It's really fun. That's it.
And that's that.
It's very, very fun. She doesn't get played that often.
Reminds me of Switchfoot for some reason. John plays one of those a lot. Ooh. This here is a baddie, as they say.
Gibson J15. It's like a J45, but not. It's fine. It's totally fine. Apparently from 2016, because that's what it says. So.
That's pretty.
It's cool.
Very pretty. For those of you who didn't get a good look at it, because I was hoarding it.
This is a Weir Guitars. He's just like some dude out of California who makes these wacky, amazing guitars. I've loved this as long as I've had it.
It's got the like the PRS headstock vibe.
Yeah, and the handwritten Weir.
Yeah.
You know, like this is the 29th one ever made. You know, and you know, it's cool. There's nothing on it. There's no volume, tone, nothing. It's just I love that about it. And it's shaped like a triple out acoustic, so that's my favorite shape of an acoustic guitar. And then it's just pick up straight to the output, and that's.
So when does this thing? When would somebody bust this thing?
This
out?
thing gets played if we need something that's kind of darker and it's got a ton of sustain. So this works great for slide. It's just awesome. It's just a really cool guitar. It's made out of all the stuff you want it to be made out of, and it plays great. It's
no frills.
Zero frills. Yeah, I absolutely love it.
That's
cool.
awesome. I hope to at least at some point have an itch to get that one out. Mm-hmm. This is one of my favorites in the studio.
The Tenor.
Yeah, this thing is
The
so
Harmony
cool.
Tenor.
Yeah.
That thing's great.
She's a little out of tune. So what is this exactly?
It's a tenor guitar. It's awesome.
Can you find these today? Are they easy to
Yeah,
find?
yeah. Eastwood makes a tenor guitar. They make like a, what's his name? From...
Ed Sheeran?
No, it's not Ed Sheeran.
I love that thing so much.
It's great.
And then some like...
Yeah, Recording King. Little triple out Recording King. That thing's awesome. It gets used... It's a wonderful like little songwriting partner, so oftentimes I leave it in the control room for people to play, but it's just kind of like obnoxious and loud and really, really, really inexpensive, so it's great.
Yeah, it does have like a I'm a professional toy vibe.
Yeah, it records kind of cool too. That has not really ever seen any setup yet. That was a gift from my sister a couple years ago. I need to take it to a luthier to get worked on. So
She's pretty.
it's cool. Old Russian mandolin.
Russian mandolins. And then the bottom is mostly just like
Yeah.
bops, bips and bops, as they say.
Yeah, strings and tape.
Get a look at this real quick, because I think this is pretty interesting. There's so much stuff, but it's put together so well.
It looks so bad in there right now.
Not to me. This telly looks entirely built by you.
It is. It's called. We call it the murder machine.
The murder machine. I really, really love that.
Yeah, that's a Deco Boom. Was the company that CNC'd those out.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's awesome, and you know,
I've yet to use this one.
it's pretty cool. I put our logo up top, and then this machine kills fascists. That's why it's the murder machine.
That's really cool.
It's a Woody Guthrie tribute.
It literally says, "This machine kills fascists," right here.
Yep.
It's so cool.
This is a Jaguar. Weird story on this, just because the body was found at a friend's apartment in New York, and he sent it to me, and yeah, I put it together. And then, so it's this weird kind of like crazy custom Jaguar thing. It's wired with the Johnny Marr 4-way switch up here, and I deactivated all this electronics. I still have this big hope and dream of working with Old Blood and getting them to wire a pedal into this. And then I want them to like get a brand, like a branding iron, and brand their eyeball logo right into
That
the
would be
center.
so cool.
I've talked to them about it a couple times, like that would be fun, and then we just haven't gotten around to it yet.
That would be really rad.
Yeah.
This guy's
Silvertone
really fun to
Stratotone.
play.
This thing's awesome.
Sorry, say what is it again?
It's a Silvertone guitar. This is a Stratotone.
Stratotone.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's made out of masonite.
Played it today.
Yep.
Really, really enjoyed playing it.
That one's awesome.
Come on in here, Easton.
Les Paul Studio, mid-90s. I have never liked that color, just to be clear. The red wine is not my color of choice on a Les Paul, but it plays great. It sounds great.
I can.
I also hate the thing they did in the 90s where all the hardware was black on the. It just didn't look right to me, so I swapped everything over to cream. And they made like a really fancy one that had cream binding at one point, and
I remember that one looked really.
that one looks cool, but like I just couldn't get behind the black on the red. Just it was so dark.
I don't recall that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a good thing.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I can.
Not a color combination I liked, but so yeah, I swapped it out.
I think it's awesome.
This is a good friend. We swapped instruments, and I got this wonderful Cooter caster, in quotation marks. So it's Ry Cooter played a guitar like this, where it had the lap steel Rickenbacker pickup, and a la Blake Mills. For everybody who likes Blake Mills, if you don't like Blake Mills, I'm sorry. He's amazing. And so Isaac Stalling was the previous owner of that, and it's pretty great. It's got the Billy the Kid sticker on the back. Strat, it's orange. Another guitar fetish body, and then repurposed a lot of the parts from my father-in-law who gave me a Strat. And so I repurposed the neck from that and the bridge and a lot of the bits. He had a different pickup combination, so I went back to just a pretty traditional Strat thing here. So that's that.
Before we cover the last one, I'm curious.
Yeah.
What made why work on almost all of your guitars? Why do kit builds? Why add stuff? Why do that in the first place?
I'm interested in it.
Yeah.
And I think there's something to be said. I mean, you can go buy any guitar right now at any shop, right? But most of them don't play great, and they need help. And doing enough touring and enough building and all these things, I've gotten good enough at setups and just kind of maintaining the instruments that I know they're going to sound better if I just spend time on them.
Yeah.
So that's part of it. And then the other part is I just like to tinker a little bit, and it's fun for me.
Last one.
The Nash Mustang bass. This is my favorite thing in the world right now.
It's pretty ballin'. I use it all the time.
Yeah, you come steal it quite a bit. She's wonderful. Yeah, I got in touch with Matt over at Nash, and he was a previous connection that I had made just from touring and working with the Hanson boys. I just hit him up, and I was like, hey, man, I'm a short scale junkie to begin with, so I could have bought the Fender Justin Mendel Johnson one, but once Nash enters the market on anything, they basically destroy everybody. So it's just so perfect, this bass. So yeah, I absolutely adore it. This is what I'm gonna be playing live with pretty much exclusively now, and then it's got all the mutes, everything. It's so muted right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. And I got Obnoxious Orange because I've never seen a orange Mustang before.
And you kind of have a thing with orange too. Like you have an orange Pelican that you love.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. If it's orange, it's probably mine.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's literally all the guitars minus mine, and mine aren't as fun. So.
I think I only have one other one that's floating around, which is the original '73 Music Master bass, but it's in a different room.
It's somewhere, but I don't know where that is.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's the reason I got that because I was too nervous to take it out anymore.
Well, I hope all you guitar heads enjoyed this little walk through some of these really rad guitars. We got one more for you, so stick around.